How do I give the reins over to somebody to let people in?
You
Just
can
make
actually
them a
click,
co-host.
yes.
And I don't know where that is, by the way. Anybody?
If you go to participants,
Thank
and
you.
then I think, let's see if they keep changing everything.
Okay, host tools for participants. Is that what it is?
Um,
Nope.
well, I used to hover over their name in my Zoom and it'll say make co-host, but it doesn't show me on here because I'm not a host, but it should show you.
Okay, Denise, I'm making you the co-host. You're in charge of setting and making sure people get in, okay, if they come in later. Perfect. All right. Well, hi everyone. I am Michelle Van Etten. I am one of your team leaders, but the team leader here today. And I wanted to introduce you to some incredible people that I was able to get on this call today. Many of you know Van and Tuan. They are our number one income earners in the USA, but they're, as we have people from all over the world on here now, they have built an international organization that is absolutely killing it. I think it's what, 34 million in sales. And so why I wanted to get you on here is the Olynation team has just been changed. It's completely redone. And I wanted them to share exactly what it is, the 12-step system that is being used here, and how easy it is to get the new person started and get the new person started right using this system. Not to say there isn't other systems out there. They are amazing. We've got Prime, we have Frequency Awakening, there's a bunch of other ones, and that is great. This is just a very simple, easy way for the newest person to feel really secure in their business. And I wanted them to be able to share that with you. And then we have Paul here, and I don't even know what time it is, but I thank you so much for being here. And is it Husey? How do I say your last name? Husey?
Sway.
Wait,
Sway,
yeah,
sorry.
wait.
Sway. Okay,
It's okay.
I'm learning, right? I've got to learn all this stuff. I'm trying. But he's here and he's going to demystify everything that is about the residual side because I know so many people are asking about that side. And he has earned six of those $1 million rings in 20 months. So I think he's figured this residual out. And I think he'll be able to express how it works and what is working best. I'm going to let Tuan and Van start the conversation and kind of explain this new part of the system that Olynation is using and take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. We appreciate it. Welcome, guys. We're excited to be on the call. We're actually going to let Paul kick off to share his story because I think it kind of falls all in line with what we're going to talk about because obviously you guys know that all of this started because him and Beanie saw the vision of OlyLife and I don't want to use this word, but essentially harassed until he got us involved because he just knew what this company was going to do. And he realized that he just needed Tuan and I to really see it. And so we want to hand it over to Paul to actually share his story and be able to open it up so that it makes complete sense because it really started with Paul and Beanie instructing all of us on how to build and how they were doing it in Asia and how it got converted over to the US.
Okay. Hi everyone. Thank you for having me on. I'm Paul. I live in Taiwan. Right now it's midnight for me. Yeah, but I'm still excited to not sleepy at all. So, how where should I start? Okay, so I used to live in New Zealand. Okay, so I kind of understand the Western culture. I graduated as a pharmacist, so I used to be in the medical field. Then I got into this industry with a Japanese company. for around 7 and 8 years, build a 10,000, few 10 or 20,000 people organization. Then I got tired of this industry because I've been talking about the same product for over 7 years, and it got me bored. And we're seeing so many people that join this industry to change lives, but sometimes in this industry it's pretty hard. Not everybody can make it. So that's why I decided to leave. So 7 years ago, me and Tuan, we were very into crypto, very happy in crypto, never thought about coming back to build another business. We were just happy with our investments. But it was 2023 August when my sponsor, Francis, who called me up. So he was one of my leaders in the previous company. And we both got into crypto. And I know he was doing very well in crypto too. So one day he called me up and he said, Paul, I'm coming back to MLM. So my first reaction on over the phone was, "Are you African crazy, right? Why do you want to go back?" And he said, because of the FTX exchange, so he lost 1.2 million overnight, and he was looking for opportunity, and OlyLife came. So he said, over the phone, I told him is, don't tell me anything. I won't build. Just tell me how much it costs. I'll send you over the money. So that was my first reaction. But he insisted in sharing me all the details. So we met up, I tried a device. I thought, this is a pretty interesting product. And then I had a look at the comp plan and I said, wow, this is amazing. Like if we had this comp plan back in the days, we will be retired by now. But I didn't build. Okay. So I joined in August 2023, but I didn't build. And the reason I didn't build was the company started in December of 2022. So I joined in their first year. And back then, there was a huge logistic problem, meaning when I place an order, I have to wait for 2 months for the product to arrive, right? So there's a huge back order. That was the first problem. I don't know how to build when people have to wait for 2 months for the product to arrive. The second reason I didn't build was that back then they didn't have credit card payment as an option. All right. So I don't know how to build without credit card. And the third was they only had one product, the P90. So if you understand our comp plan, you'll know that we don't have auto ship. The company doesn't require us to buy another product if we don't want to forever. So I wasn't sure where's the passive income on this, right? So this is the question I asked Francis, and he said, don't worry about it. The company will fix everything. We had the company owns more than 400 patents, and they promised they're gonna come out with new products every year. Well, being in this industry for so long, we see a lot of new companies overpromise a lot of things, and they never kept their promise. So I waited. So that was in 2023. I waited until September of 2024 when Francis called me again. He said, Paul, you should have a look at this new product that we just came out. And that was the Galaxy G1 goggles. And I was first when I first saw it, I was very interested because, in crypto, I'm always in front of a screen. So I know my eyes is kind of weared out, starting to get old, right? I get a lot of those high eye pressure, high eye tension feeling. Yeah. So when I first got the product, after one use, I was amazed because all the tension were gone. I felt so relieved. And then after 3 days, the floaters are gone too. So oh, the PMF really works on eyes as well, right? And so after I got the product, I had a chance to go to Dubai with Tuan. We had a crypto meeting there. So, I brought the G1 with me because it's smaller, portable, right? Not the P90, it's too big. So I brought it with me to Dubai. I tried to get Tuan on, Tuan try not to try it on, and he get all his other friends to try it first before him. And then, most people felt something. Well, actually, most people fell asleep, including Tuan, right? So I remember, when I was there, all I did was I just get people try the device. I didn't explain what the product is, the company name, not even the company, not even the comp plan. Only Toan knows that this is a MLM company. So, and the results is after the first try, the feedback were all good. So that's when I came back and really thought about whether I should build, because in the previous companies, usually we have to talk about new ingredients, the new superfruits, all the research on why this can improve your health, right? Try to convince people to try or to buy this product. And sometimes, people say, this is so expensive. I'd rather go to a pharmacy or Walmart to get a cheaper, similar ingredient supplement. And then we have to talk about the business part, why this is we want to help you make money and stuff. So that's the reason why I don't want to be in this industry. But with OlyLife, it's different. I didn't explain anything at all. I didn't even explain the PMF. All I did was just get them on the product, and they felt good. So I thought, okay, if they felt good, then it'll be a lot easier to explain about the business side, especially business without comp plan where there's no ownership. So that's when I actually decided to give myself another chance. So I started to build in 1st of October 2024, so around 20 months ago, right? So in the first 2 months, I sponsored 40 people, and 80% of them was forced to join because I forced them to, including Tuan. I said, I don't care if you don't want to build, just give me $1,000 and I'm gonna put you in. Yeah, and this is a true story, right? Uh, anyway, so he had no choice but to join, and so when I first started, Brian, which was one of the master distributor in Taiwan, um, when I first started in Taiwan, there's over 200,000 members, right? They did very well in Southeast Asia because we're a Singapore company. So Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand are doing very well. Japan, Korea were doing very well. So Brian was explaining to me about the demographics of OlyLife, and I found that okay, so we don't have a team in Hong Kong yet, in China yet, in US, or even the Western world, right? So I told Brian, okay, US, the Western market is something that I'm very interested in. And I told him at the beginning, I said, if we want to enter the Western market, there's one couple that I have to get. That's Toan Nguyen, okay? Because of their background. And one of the reasons is because I know them for years and I know they're ethical people, right? So when I started with Asia. I sponsored someone in Hong Kong, also someone I trust with my life. Now he's dominating the Hong Kong, Macau market. I sponsored one of the leaders in Taiwan who went into China. So right now we are dominating these two markets. I believe that 90% of the sales is under our team. And we started US. I think it was around March was when Toan Nguyen finally willing to do a call with me to understand OlyLife. And May is actually when we actually started the US market, and now they're doing really, really well. So I still remember last year when we first started the US market, oh man, there's a lot of challenges. And that's why I wanted to have Toan and Van to be leading the market, because for new market, even if you in the future, if you have people in different countries, you have to understand this too. Because for new market, there will always be challenges. Last year at the beginning in May, the first challenge is that the company came out with our own credit card payment system. 9 out of 10 credit card couldn't go through, right? Because it's a new system. They have to build the credibility with the US banking system. So it took the company 1 month. So 1 month, the whole month, people are excited, demonstrating the product. People want to sign up, they want to buy the product, but their credit card couldn't go through. So that was the first challenge that we had. A lot of people got frustrated, and all we tell them is that you can either wait or you can just keep on going. Because the people who are keep on overcoming these challenges with the company, they will be the ones that's dominating this market, right? So, and as a result, it proved to be true. Because the second challenge that we had is once the credit card processing were gone, because US was growing so fast, it cleaned out all the warehouse, all the stocks in the US warehouse. So there was a huge back order. So everybody had to wait for 2 months for the product to arrive. Just what I experienced when I first joined. So it took the company until November to catch up with all the back orders. But our sales kept on growing. And then on the third challenge was around November. There was one batch of P90 pluses when people plug it in, it didn't work. They don't feel a thing, right? So there was a batch of product that had little bit of deficit things of problems. And so the third challenge was that helping the company to get everything replaced, right? So these are the challenges that we faced last year. And because we overcame, that's why now Olynation, is doing very well worldwide. So just want to share this to have you understand in the future, if you're opening up different new countries, this could be the possible challenges you might face when you enter a new country. But if you can find the right leader that are willing to run or overcome these challenges, they will be the ones that's dominating the whole country or the whole market. And to me, I think that is very important. Yeah. So a lot of people ask me, so how do I build, or how do I build when how did I get started, or what did I do to kick everything off? I kept everything very simple. The first thing that I gave myself a goal, the only goal that I gave myself when I first started was I want to see $300 a day on my commissions. $300 meaning $1,000 on the left, $1,000 on the right for a tier bonus. And that was for P90 because the average income in Taiwan or in Asia is lower. So we weren't promoting the P90 plus as you guys are right now. So my goal for myself was $300 a day. So that's how I started, and that's how I kept my focus, and that's how I tell my team to do too. Okay, so the first thing is I focus myself as to earn $300 a day. So I remember the first month my income was around $17,000. The second month was around $17,000. The third month was a bit lower because of Christmas and Chinese and New Year's, around $15,000. But starting from the fourth month, that's when I gave myself a second goal, was earning $1,000 a day. And after the fourth month, I didn't set a goal no more, and everything just started to grow. So what I believe with this comp plan, just keep everything simple, helping your people to earn tier bonus. For all the people that I sponsor, the only goal that I have for them is to help them to earn 3 tier bonus so they can make their money back on the product. So that's the first part of how I built. And the second part of how I built is last year, all I did was getting all my teams from different areas into the corporate office, just like the Thailand trip that some of you might be coming. Check out the corporate office. We will have the corporate people to explain, to educate us on all the product, all the main products, and just check out the office. So that's how I got the Asia market to start growing. Yeah, so I sponsored 40 people. Right now, after 20 months, it's around 70,000 people. Asia and Western adds together. So I don't take credit at all because I think it's because of we have product that works, a comp plan that never hurt people, and the right leaders. That's why I can be where I'm at. So I'm very appreciative of this opportunity and all the leaders and everybody who trusted in me and the company, and just really excited to see a lot of people win here. Yeah. So, is there anything else that Toan Nguyen you want me to share?
Yeah, you should show them what the income potential is, Paul.
You look, look, Paul, here's the
Okay,
thing.
but
Everybody here has been around at for a certain time. I think it's okay to do what we call the back office training. It's okay to do that.
okay, but there's one thing because I know we are recording, right?
Okay.
We we can do it later.
Okay. Another time, another time.
I
Or we
can
can do
I can stop the recording if you want.
But
Pause
it
it.
will it actually, let's do this. How about we wait till the end to let Paul share so that you can cut it off, Michelle, because then it won't mess up your recording.
Okay, that's perfect. Also, when I'm talking about the residual side, can you kind of go into your Apple philosophy too, so that people can understand how the residual is actually going to fall into play?
Yes, we will definitely explain
Yes.
that.
Yeah, and also I want to share another thing before I invite Toan Nguyen to be on, is that, the more I do OlyLife, the more I fell in love with it because for people who are into crypto, meaning we like new things, right? And the company coming out with new products every year or new upgrades every year actually really excites me. For example, I joined with the P90, but I didn't start when the G1 came out, until the G1 came out, right? There are a lot of people who join because of G1, but they didn't really start to build until the shaker massager came out. So this means that with new products that's coming out every year, it allows us to capture different markets and reignite our old members. This is one of the reasons why we can grow fast, is because of the new products. And just like with the Apple philosophy, I'm an Apple fan. Apple 16 or 17 or 18 is coming out. I don't care, but whenever Apple comes out with a new product, even though the phone still works, I'm gonna buy the latest iPhone, right? So right now, what we are seeing is that there's a lot of Ollie fans, OlyLife fans. Whenever a company comes out with new products, because they believe in the brand so much, they just want to own it. They just want to buy it, and this will also be the passive part. Apart from that, there's a part that the company haven't even started yet. The company does have a factory, a supplement factory in New Zealand, but we don't want to start with the supplement yet because we want the wellness devices to be the main entrance or the main product to enter everybody's life, to accumulate the membership. And in the future, they will come out with their own supplements. And that will also help with the residual. So there's a technology, mindset of the residual. But in the future, there will also be supplements too. So that's not something that we need to worry about. Okay, so I guess that's my part, and I'll pass it on to Toan Van, and I'll be on for Q&As too. All right, thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul. We appreciate it. I know it's late for you, but guys, I mean, Paul works around the clock. In Asia, he has to wake up, and then after they go to bed, he then services the Western side of the world with us. So definitely appreciate him and Beanie, and we always say we're grateful that he never let up. But I just want to share a little bit about our story. So, this is probably our first time meeting some people that are on the line here. So we definitely want to welcome you guys, congratulate you guys for your rank advancement. And we're definitely excited and grateful that Michelle invited us on the call today. And so our story, as you heard, Paul, started back technically in 2023 because Tuan went to go meet with a friend of his and she was talking about this device and she doesn't speak English that well, so she didn't really explain how it actually worked. And I at the time that he was approached, mentally I was not available at all to ever look at any other company. So he brings this device home And he doesn't explain to me what it does. All he says is it's supposed to make your body hot. So then I'm like, sounds like something I don't want to use. So then, he was bugging me like, try it out, try it out. Long story short, guys, when I tell you the book of how to do it all wrong is Toan, that was him. Because he literally made me stand on the device and then he cranked the thing up to like the highest level of frequency. And if you guys meet me in person, I'm a fairly tiny individual. So when you think about blasting the frequency to level 8, because it wasn't a P90 plus, it was a P90. So he blasts it to level 8. I'm standing on it, and in less than 5 minutes, it feels like my ankles were gonna explode. And I get off the device and I literally said, "This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life." Like it actually worked because he said your body's supposed to feel hot. And then Tuan took the device and put it in his office and never talked about it again. I never wanted to use it because it was painful. Fast forward to what Paul was saying, they were in Dubai. Juan was helping his client launch a project. Paul was there to witness the launch. And the whole conversation, like what Paul said, led to back in June when things really started picking up. Paul was like, "You guys got to see what's going on." And Tuan was shocked by how fast the team was growing. But the part that I couldn't understand because of my first experience was, why are people buying a product that hurts your ankles? Like that was my mindset. I don't get it. And it wasn't until we literally said, okay, let's just test this out with some local people and see what their response are. So we called two friends to come over our house. And the reason why this is important is because Richard's wife, Stephanie, she was in a very bad car accident 10 years ago. She broke her back, she broke her tailbone. She struggles to walk. She walks, but it just hurts. We invited them to come over with no intentions to sell OlyLife, but really just trying to understand, why the heck are these Hawaiians going crazy for a device that hurts you? And then, why is Paul so excited that he just keeps hounding us about like getting started? So we called them to come over our house and had no idea what we were doing. Literally just told them to put their feet on the device. This time, Paul had advised, do not put it so high, right? So we learned how to use the device properly. They put their feet on the device. And at the time, we didn't have the pen. We didn't find out about the conductor pen until later. But Tuan Chat GPT'd that you can use an LED light bulb to see if voltage is being conducted in the body. And so we put their feet on the device and we were using an LED light bulb to show them that you can light up the light bulb. And then after that, he played the video that him and his company developed as the marketing tools that Paul originally hired them to do. And then after that was done, they started asking tons of questions that Tuan didn't know how to answer. And I definitely didn't know how to answer because in that process of Paul trying to get us to be engaged, I completely was mentally checked out. And here's why I'm going to share that with you guys because I think it's relevant to understand why OlyLife is not just a frequency device company. It's not just another network marketing company. It truly is a movement based on what is currently happening in this industry. And I will tell you guys that the reason why I was so personally reluctant to even look at this, I've been in this industry for over 20 years. We've sat in every role you can sit in, whether it's brand new distributor, top distributor, master distributor, corporate executive, and our final role was co-founder and CEO to our own company. And long story short, what happened and why I was so resistant to look at this was in April of 2023. I went to a conference that happens twice a year. It's called the DSU. And the people that are invited to those conferences are corporate owners or network marketing owners and corporate executives. If you were a distributor that attended, it was because the owner or an executive personally invited you to attend the meeting. It's not a meeting that distributors participate in. Consultants are usually there as well. And I want to tell you guys that there was a wide variety of subjects that were being talked about. And I want to screen share some of the things that were discussed in that room so that you guys understand where my mindset was at. And then when I finally understood what OlyLife was, I realized it's a movement. Okay. So, first thing that they were discussing was they actually did a survey. They conducted a 1 year survey in network marketing. They spoke to 1,200 individuals in that time frame, and they discovered that the majority of people in network marketing They don't want to learn how to make millions of dollars. They don't want to learn how to even make thousands of dollars. 38% discussed that if they can just learn how to make an extra $250 to $999. So let's just say $250 to $1,000 in their first 30 days, 67% of Americans would make, if they can make anywhere between $250 to $1,000 in their first month, it would absolutely convince them that it was worth their time. That was number one. Okay. So that was one topic. How to make $250 to $1,000 in your first 30 days. The majority of people want to know that. The majority of people don't want to be top earners. I think we all know that. The second thing that was discussed, I'm trying to make sure you guys see this. Hold on. Okay. The second thing that was actually the majority of the conversations, not only from a training perspective, but the discussion at the after events, whether it was lunch break, dinner break, early morning chatters before we get into the room, they were talking about how there's an affiliate program that they're integrating because the numbers of network marketing from a global perspective since 2018 has been dramatically declining. 1 million distributors a year are leaving the industry. Today's generation, which is our children's age, our son is 14, our daughter's 17, they're not attracted to, guess what? The model that requires a monthly auto ship. So companies that are 100, 200 million talking about how they're integrating an affiliate model, okay? Separate vertical, self-funded incentive for associates to enroll as affiliates. Guys, they created a separate portal of how the affiliates don't need to know anything about the network marketing side because affiliates don't like the network marketing model that requires active status, leadership bonus, all the things that we know about network marketing comp plans. Okay, so they were talking about how they were creating separate portals for it, and then hang on, I'm just trying to switch through. Okay. So these were the slides where they were talking about separate portals, simplified websites, enrollment, onboarding, sharing tools and assets, different communication approach. I think that's important for you guys to see that. Number 4 says a different communication approach. Okay. Because what was happening in that room, whether it was a discussion from stage or behind the scenes, was that owners and executives, they're not going to tell you this. It's going to create fear in their company. But they were talking about how auto ships were dramatically declining. Our business partner, if you know who he is, one of his biggest companies a year prior to this conference was acknowledged to be doing $600 million in annual sales. The year that I attended that conference, 2023, they got acknowledged for $300 million in annual sales. Our partner's largest company in his ecosystem model went backwards 50%. And what is it? It's the fact of the matter, as I mentioned, since 2018, the industry has been dramatically declining because we are competing against the gig economy. People can turn a property into an Airbnb. People can turn their car into an Uber. People can go on the internet and learn a trade and turn it into a business. People can go build a following on social media and get paid on their views. They can become affiliates, create a video, TikTok shop or Amazon affiliate, whatever. There's all different models that don't require the old school style compensation plans that we have to follow where it's high pressured, a lot of quotas that you have to hit to maintain. Essentially, people were starting to realize that these network marketing comp plans are punishing us for working hard and building their distribution field and their channel of sales. And so more people are leaving the industry because they're just not attracted to that pressure anymore. And so, guys, why am I sharing that with you? Because when things went down with our company and we got forced into a merger, I completely decided to walk away from the industry because at the end of the day, even though I believe this industry has a lot of great products, I love the leadership, the association that happens in network marketing. For myself, I just couldn't put myself into any compensation plan that I knew witnessing at that conference, people are just not attracted to it. Companies are adding affiliate models because they know distributors are not attracted to it. And what's going to happen is you're already witnessing that companies are starting to shut down their MLM side and going affiliate model because it's easier for them to collapse the model than to collapse the idea of auto ships because every single top earner up until this point their model is built off of auto ships. So what you're going to get in OlyLife is a lot of pushback from people that are stuck in the old ways of thinking there's no residual income because there isn't a consistent flow of consumable products being utilized in OlyLife. It's a one-time buy. I'm going to address that in a second, guys. But when I tell you this was why, when Toan came home and said, Paul wants to talk to us, I said, no, I don't want to hear it. But Paul wants to get back into product. I don't care. Because if you guys heard the story, Toan told Paul, if there's anyone that you want to talk to product, it's Van, not me, right? Everybody knows our entire career of 20 plus years, they know that if you want to talk about product, you don't talk to Toan about it because most of the time he doesn't really listen when it comes to product. And the reason why my husband is healthy is because he has a wife like me that just cooks him the food and puts it in front of him that's healthy, right? And so I just want you guys to understand it wasn't Paul or how I viewed Paul. I have a lot of respect for Paul and Beanie, and I wasn't being an asshole. It was just what I knew was happening in this industry. I couldn't see myself participating in any comp plan because if I know what I know and I still make the decision to move forward, bad on me as a leader to make decisions knowing that I'm not saying the model will collapse. That's not what I'm saying because there's always going to be a percentage of people that believe in that model. But what I was saying is based on the awareness that I had, if I continue to make decisions that benefited my bank account, that's unfortunate because I'm hurting everybody else in the process. And so because I didn't know how OlyLife's comp plan worked and I refused to listen, when it finally clicked, when we had the couple try the device and going back to the story of them coming over our house, and when they were asking questions, I didn't know how to answer it. Tuan didn't know how to answer it. So he threw it into Chat GPT because year and a half prior to that, I told Tuan, like, you married Chat GPT because for almost 2 years, all I was hearing is Chat GPT tell me, right? Even when we got into argument, Chat GPT tell me why my wife is responding this way.
This is true.
Yeah, this is literally the last like year and a half prior to OlyLife. That's all I was hearing is Chat GPT tell me this, right? And that's honestly the default that Tuan thought, like, okay, if I can't answer the question, let me just throw it into Chat GPT. That evening, Stephanie left our house 2 hours later, and here's what I will tell you guys that it's not always an everyday occurrence that you use the product and get a result, but Stephanie did. She was just hurting a little less. And when she left our house, Tuan and I and her husband Richard were all shocked by how quickly she responded to the product. That evening, Richard called back and he told Tuan he wanted to buy $2,000 worth of devices. And we were reluctant to sell it because we weren't trying to get involved into OlyLife, like really build it. So we were like, are you sure, Richard, that you really want to spend that kind of money? And this is where it finally clicked for Tuan and I that everything made sense, was that Richard said, I don't care how much it costs as long as it just helps Stephanie. And that's when everything kind of went off from a product perspective. That back in 2015, a mentor of mine, she was trying to recruit me into a company, and the three elements kicked in. And then the fact that Richard said, I don't care, I'm going to spend top dollars to make sure Stephanie feels better. Guys, we have the three elements to a product-based company that we all look for. My mentor told me this when I asked her, why are you trying to sell me on this product? And she says, Van, it has all three components. Number one, you can feel it. At the time, the product, when you drank it, you felt it. I'm not talking about OlyLife. I'm talking about what she was telling me. The second thing is she said, you can demonstrate it. You can demonstrate it by pricking your finger and showing in the blood that it is apparent after an hour. The third thing was it created a result without you creating a complete lifestyle change. And I forever remember that moment when she told me that it clocked into my brain that that's what you got to look for when you're looking for a successful product. And in most companies, in network marketing, especially product based, you have one of three, two of three. Very rarely do you have three of three. And if you look back in the history of network marketing, the products that have three of three all became a home run. And then it clicked in my brain that, holy crap, that one demonstration we did has all three elements. Can you feel the device? Yes. You feel the warming of your ankles. If you do it right, instead of burning them, they feel the warming sensation. The second thing is whether it's an LED light bulb or a light conductor pen, or even one of those electrical sticks that Ricky did at the conference, you can literally show people where the frequency is at in their body instead of explaining to them because they're going to ask, how do I know the frequencies in my body? You just demonstrate it, right? And then the third component is you can create a result for them without asking them to change their lifestyle. And guys, you lift your feet up and you leave it for 20 minutes. We've all seen Katrina's blood analysis video, and it is able to create better blood movement without asking them to be physically active. Now, I'm not stating don't be physically active. It's healthy for you to get up and move your body. However, we're aware that there's people that cannot, or there's people that probably work and by the end of the day, they're exhausted. And some people just choose not to do it. But here's the good news is we have some sort of solution for them. And all it simply asks you to do is lift your feet up and leave it there for 20 minutes. And so when all of that finally clicked, and then the cherry on top was when I realized this comp plan was everything that the industry is looking for but cannot do, because for almost 100 years we're built on an old school model. And in order for them to integrate OlyLife's comp plan, they will destroy all the top earners' income. So what's going to happen? Mark my word on this, because it's not about me predicting the future. It's about human behavior and understanding where people's mindset are at. Is that I promise you in the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to see a vacuum get created. And what's going to happen is more and more people are becoming aware of a compensation plan like OlyLife. You're going to see new companies launch with these comp plans, but the statistics are what they are, that a brand new business that gets started, only 1 out of 10 actually survive. But what's going to happen is as these new companies come out and they copy OlyLife's comp plan, they're going to create more awareness in the market that there are comp plans out there that don't require a monthly auto ship, that don't reset your rank volume, that do not do monthly close, that do not pressure the organization to stay in line and build or lose your income. People that join those startups that don't make it, they're going to start looking for a comp plan like that because they're not going to go back to the old school way like my mindset was like. And guess what they're going to do? By that time, OlyLife is going to be so stable as a company that people are going to say, why am I going to go join these startups when OlyLife is proving that this model is working? Because currently, right now, they have over 400 people that have either made 1 million to multiple 7 figures, like how Paul and Beanie have done it already. So they're going to set the tone, and you're going to start seeing that a vacuum will get created, that more and more people will join your business. But right now, you're going to see that more people will resist your model, resist the concept, bash the fact that there isn't a consumable product, and claim that there's no residual income here. But I can tell you guys in a second why you need to shift your mindset and how you view your OlyLife build. Because once you hear, you're gonna absolutely click in your brain that makes sense. Because it's not based on a theory. It's not based on what Toan and Van think is going to happen. It's based on your own human behavior. And we'll highlight that in a second. But I want to quickly move on from that story because Toan wants to share with you guys the system that Michelle was talking about. I still had Stephanie and Richard on my mind. The system that Michelle was talking about is that we didn't reinvent a new system. We didn't create this system. I can just tell you guys that obviously Toan and I and our organization have been around for a year. You guys are all brand new. I think Michelle said that she got started in March, February, around there.
March.
Okay. So you guys are a brand new organization. So the beautiful thing about it is we beat ourselves up for a year. And now you guys get to hear the cheat code of the fastest way to get to top income or whatever dollar amount you define yourself as success. We're giving you guys the cheat code. And we realized in this past year, there were things that we shouldn't have done. There was things that we should have improved and emphasized and highlighted more. But you don't know until you kind of go in the field and you just mess up and figure out what works and what doesn't work. And so this past several months, Toan and I have been analyzing what was the greatest things that were happening this past year. What were the things that we probably should abandon and stop doing? And we highlighted the main top things that we emphasize according to the data that I just shared with you guys at the conference, according to what we know what was happening in this industry and what people are saying and how they don't like certain things. We executed this plan, and all we did was we took what everyone was doing and we literally just condensed it into a simplified form. And I want you guys to know, it doesn't matter what system you plug into, because I can tell you that every system that exists under the Olynation umbrella they all highlight this. So it's not a system that Tuan and I invented. It was really taking all of the setbacks, the failures, the good, the wins this past year in the entire organization and really putting a heavy emphasis on the main things that are going to help your business grow and thrive. So I'm going to hand it over to Tuan so that he can actually talk about the new 12-step document that got published on OlyNation.team.
All right, awesome. Well, nice meeting everybody, and just want to first of all say that it was really great to see several of you guys, and of course we got a chance to spend time with Michelle over at the California event, and it was amazing, amazing. And then Van, I really appreciate her being able to kind of allowing us to be able to share our story with you guys and listening to Paul, because I think the stories are very important because when you get a chance to hear the stories, and of course, we look forward to hearing your stories as well. The entire business, you'll start realizing that there's no real true cookie cutter way of approaching the business. Paul forced us in the business. We were introduced to it 2023 the wrong way. I had Van use the device at literally almost at the optimal level of strength, and it literally burned her foot off. Um, some of you guys were introduced through a video, some of you guys had a demo. So these stories are very powerful because there's no exact way of doing the business. The key thing is that each person was exposed to the business and they made a decision based on timing. This is something that's very important for everyone to understand. So that goes right into, me explaining in the next few minutes, um, a 12-step system, and I just want you to look at it not from like, I have to do the 12-step system. The more important thing is that when I go through this, I want you to understand not the technical things, but understand the philosophical things behind it. Is that what matters the most is that whether you like using, I don't know, the ATM system, you like using, this system or that. It really doesn't really matter. What matters the most is that you need to use tools and you need to leverage yourself out. And here's what's really important for us. We tend to attract who we are. And who we are, let us tell you, we are traditional business owners. We have children. So we have a 17-year-old, we have a 14-year-old. We are as busy as all you guys are. You guys are sacrificing time, your energy. You're on this Zoom right now. You had to allocate some time to be on the Zoom. We are the same as you guys. We are busy. We are normal people. And so when we work this system, we work this system in the eyes of you guys, busy people with family, have children, and running different businesses. So don't get too caught up on the 12 step. Really look at it as a philosophy. I'll end it with this as I move towards the 12 steps. Every single one of you, we all live in a home of some level, whether it's a condo, an apartment, a single family residence, whatever, okay? Every single one of you have a home that you live in, but each of you maybe have stairs and you maybe want to design your stairs a different way. Some of you like, I like it spiral. Okay, you designed it that way. Maybe some of you are like, oh, I like it carpet. Maybe some of you guys are like, oh, carpet's terrible. That's like so 80s. Some of you guys like floating stairs, and that's fine. What matters the most is that we all have a way of living our own home, but you can design it the way you want. So let me kind of move forward and actually go over the 12 steps within OlyNation, and I can briefly go over it with you very lightly so that way you can see it, okay? I'm going to go ahead and pull up OlyNation.team, and I can screen share really quick here. Okay, so OlyNation.team. And then I'm going to go and click on get started. And then we're going to pop this up. Now, before I go over that, you're going to see that there is a 12-minute video that is tied to 12 steps. Pretty interesting, right? 12 minutes, 12 steps. Anyways, if you haven't watched it yet, I highly encourage you to do so. And this 12 minutes really breaks down the entire 12 steps. So some of you might be like, well, Tuan, I can't explain it the way you do. That's fine because you can actually send people to this. They watch the 12-minute video and it breaks down the entire thing. And it really does the work for you. Now, let me walk you through this really quick. So step number one is if you're brand new, you want to tier bonus qualify. Now, Van and I are going to spend a little bit more emphasis on this after I go through the 12 step briefly with you. But tier bonus qualifying is so powerful because earlier Van mentioned that the average person isn't looking to make millions of dollars, not looking to get rich or anything like that. The average person today is looking to earn $500. Now, if you can show them that $500 as quick as possible, you really got their attention and you got their belief. Now, to tier bonus qualify, you have to simply just enroll two customers or two members or a combination of both. What does that look like? Now, there's 6 ways that you get compensated, but most people don't want to learn these 6 ways. People just care about how they're going to actually earn their money back as quick as possible. Now, within those 6 ways, when you tier bonus qualify, you trigger two of the parts of the compensation plan. Number one, direct sales, also known as performance bonus. Given the fact that the number one flagship product that people buy is the Terra P90 Plus, let's use that as an example. You go out there and you direct sale one person that purchased the P90 Plus, you're going to earn net profit into your account $90. All right, on one. Now, to be honest with you guys, Van and I, we talked about this. To enroll someone for a $1,500 device, tax and shipping is $1,650, and you're receiving $90. To be honest, everyone, we want to be transparent with you guys. We talked about this. We said, you know, that's really not a lot of money. 1650 you generate to the company. Obviously, that includes tax and shipping, and you earn $90. That's really not a whole lot of money. But as we actually got a chance to get to know the company, they are so smart because they want to incentivize multiplication. So what are they going to do? They're going to say, if you pair that sale with another sale, okay, so I'm going to repeat that. If you can pair that one sale with another one, you enroll Linda and you decide maybe a week later, 2 weeks later, you enroll Kim. Two different sales. You pair that sale with another one, what will you receive? For two sales, you're going to earn two direct sales commission, $180, but you're also now triggering the second component of the compensation plan, which is tier bonus. And now you're going to earn a $450 tier bonus on top of that 180. So you net profit $630 for doing that. Guys, this is powerful. $630 on two sales, that's massive. But here's what's really cool. Because you officially tier bonus qualified, you've now unlocked tier bonuses. And what this means is that regardless if you direct sale or not, every single time that you pair sales in your organization, you're going to receive anywhere between $375 to as high as like $2,250. But let's say it's P90 pluses, right? Imagine that every single time that there's sales that's being paired underneath you, regardless if you direct sell, your team did it, it was spillover that happened underneath you, or a combination of all of it. Every time there's a pair, you're earning 450, 450, 450. And the company ships to 150 plus countries around the world. It can be unlimited depth, and you can receive this 450. So this is very, very powerful that you tier bonus qualify. We'll save the details of how you earn these 450s for a later part, but this is the most important thing, that as a brand new person, you have to tier bonus qualify to trigger this first. Now, how do we do that? Basically, by simply simplifying the process for people. You know, inside OlyLife, there's over 6 different products, as Van and I can kind of put our mind behind it. But we know that if you talk about all the products, a confused mind does nothing. So we focus on the main products that people tend to buy. But you notice the highlighter here? The flagship product is the Terra P90 Plus. We don't upsell people on the Shaken. We don't upsell people on the Galaxy G1. We really focus on the Terra P90 Plus because why? Through reflexology, your feet is basically the canal to all of your organs throughout your entire body. So we just know that if you focus on this, people are able to get a total body experience. And then from there, once they use it, through the testimonials, through your community, through your whatever the groups that you have your team in, they're going to start seeing the testimonials of Shaken. They're going to see the testimonials of Galaxy G1. From there, they're going to say, hey, wait, does the Shaken massager really work? They're going to start seeing those stories and they're going to start deciding to add that to their repertoire. They're going to start adding that to their part of their lifestyle. And that's where the residual kicks in. So we don't upsell, we really just focus on the flagship product and making it simple. Now, that's step number two. Step number three is creating curiosity. For us, we just want to make it really easy because we don't want you to think of sales tactics, being a great saleswoman or salesperson. Just think of some simple curiosity questions. Have you ever heard of PEMF? Are you familiar with biohacking devices? Van and I like using, have you ever seen this device before? And the reason why we like this is because most of the time we give them a visual and they might say, I've never seen this device before. What is it? Or I've never heard of PMF before. What is it? And you might be wondering, well, what picture are you sending? So we actually embed it into the actual PDF document itself or the website where you can click on pick a picture and this pops up. If you don't even know what picture to take, maybe you're like, I have to take the perfect picture. Don't worry about it. We've taken those pictures for you. You got the P90 Plus, you got the Shaken Massager, you got the Galaxy G1, totally up to you.
And we got rid of the OlyLife name because I know some of you guys like to do attraction marketing and don't show the logo. So
Yeah.
the logos disappeared on these devices.
Some of you like to do a curiosity post, right? So remember earlier we mentioned, don't get too caught up on, oh, but do I have to follow the 12 steps? Look, just look at the essence of what we're trying to tell you, because the truth is we're not here trying to govern what you need to do. You have to do this. No, follow whichever philosophy, follow whichever way you want. What matters is that you're just leveraging out these systems and these tools, okay? So have you ever seen this device before? You send a picture. No, I haven't seen it before. Is it a scale? Does it vibrate? Whatever, okay? From that moment forward, you can move to step number four and you just share your story or share a story. You might be waiting for your device and you haven't created your own story yet. It's okay. Use Michelle's story. Use many of you on here have an amazing story. Have leverage those stories within your community. And if you don't have a story, you can also go to the testimonial channel and you can actually watch that story, read that story, and you can even press forward and forward that story out and say, read this. This is amazing. Add them to a community. Tag them. Doesn't matter. Just share a story so that way it gets them more curious. You can text it, you can phone call, audio message, up to you. We don't really care. Just go out and just share a story. So from step four, they're going to say, okay, so how does the whole thing work? From there, share a video. For us, we just make it really easy that we just write in the Olynation website. You can send this right here. You can copy it. You can paste it to them and say, watch the first video. The first video goes over the PEMF video and it's 5 minutes. We don't even oversell it. Just watch this video. We don't tell them to watch 10 different videos because if you can't figure out how to watch the first video, they're not going to watch the rest of the videos, right? So just watch this video. It's 5 minutes. From there, ask them some questions. Hey, what did you like about it? Hey, what stood out to you? They're going to tell you and listen to it. They might say, "Oh, wow, I like it. So how does the products work? Is the technology safe? I'm interested in the business already. How's the whole thing work?" You can go to the resource center. You can forward the videos that make sense to them and send them more videos so that way they can watch it. So that's step number six. Step number seven, at this moment, guys, Van and I, we love sharing, more stories. The favorite video that Van always shares is the blood analysis. It's found inside the testimonial channel. You can take that, you can forward it, and just share a story behind it because when they see these stories, they're able to actually connect their own personal, basically their friends, their family, their neighbors. They can connect their own situation and then be able to say, wow, if it's happened for them, it can happen for me. So this is why this is so, so powerful to be able to share these testimonials inside the channel. All right, guys. So let's go to step number 8, which is using AI. Guys, for us, it's really about just leveraging yourself out. Van and I, we've done network marketing for 20 plus years, and we really believe that people today in today's world, they just want to feel like they can be in their own space and do their own due diligence and do their own research. And honestly, even if they Google it, it still works too, because Google has embedded AI to the whole thing right in the very front. So someone might ask, hey, is it safe? Is there any clinical trials? Is there any studies that is around this? So when you use something like ChatGPT, when you use something like Grok, or you even Google it that has AI already integrated into Google's ecosystem, what's powerful is that when they're in their own environment and they're able to research on them for themselves, what is PEMF or is there any studies? Because PEMF has been around, modern PEMF has been around since the late 70s, early 70s, and there's also even NASA has actually FDA approved a particular device for bone density. It's all research there. When someone does their own research through AI, it's it's so empowering for them than, getting them connected with like us, right? Some people go, I want to get you on the phone, Tuan or Van. We just go, why would you want to do that? What if we scare them? What if we say something wrong? What if they don't relate with us? So for us, we always say, just use AI. Just let them do their own research. And we've noticed that if you do this over time, they'll come back. They'll start watching your stories, or they'll start coming back and they say, hey, I did some research and I'm actually very interested in learning more. So step number 9, guys, I think this is really important, is asking for the sale. We do believe that sometimes people just need a little direction. So 3 of the favorite questions that we publish is this: is this something that you want to benefit from? Van's favorite one is, I'm not going to close you. You just got to tell me what you want to do. And this allows them to start thinking. They say, you know what? I want more information. Or, I'll buy the P90 Plus. Or would you like to own this for yourself? But when you say something like, I'm not going to close you, you just got to tell me what you want to do, they will tell you what they want to do. I'm like, you know what? Let me, I think I need a tryout, or I need more info. And at this moment, you can move to step number 10. Because at step number 10, maybe at this moment, they might say, you know what? You're local to me. I think I need to experience the device for myself. So this is where the in-person experience kicks in. You guys notice that the first few steps, we talked about using the videos, creating curiosity. We're not doing in-person experience as the first thing. We want to be able to leverage all the tools first. And if in fact that they can't see themselves making a decision yet, and if they are local, this is the best time for them to go through an in-person experience. And this is how you're able to build a global business and build outside of your backyard. And if there might be someone that maybe they're long distance, you can invite them to a full overview presentation, or join a live Olynation Zoom presentation that's being conducted. All right. Step number 11, guys, is if you are sharing the information to people and there's 5, 6, 7 people, you can invite them to a gathering. Could be at a local coffee shop, could be your favorite restaurant, could be your home. But again, this isn't required. This is just an idea, an option for you inside the 12-step ecosystem. And of course, there's 2 different videos that you can use at that location. Could be an IPE video, could be a PEMF video. You guys get the whole point. Finally, guys, step number 12 is plugging into the system. Van and I, we really believe that we don't want to hound people in this business. We believe that we should be interdependent instead of dependent on someone, right? You guys don't want people to be dependent on Van and I. Why? Because what if I go crazy? What if I start doing something stupid? I won't do anything stupid, you guys, but you guys get my whole point. You don't want your whole entire business dependent on a person, because what if that person decides to go rogue or something like that? You want your business to be dependent on a system. So Olynation encompasses, all types of communities under one umbrella. You'll start noticing that. And in here, we have the Olynation announcements channel. We have the Telegram announcement channel. We have the testimonial channel that you can every single day. There's new testimonials that's uploaded on there. It's so powerful. You can copy it. You can share on your stories. Do whatever you want with it. But that is the base of where all the stories are coming from. We also believe in getting comfortable with customer support. Some of you might get people reaching out to you about, hey, I have a warranty question. How do I handle that? Instead of depending on the person above you, depending on us, you want to get comfortable with customer support because that's what they're there for. There might be questions about your back office, getting something, verified or something. Go to your back office, get familiar with customer support. And guys, if you have at least one person in your team, I think you appreciate Van and I really emphasizing on this because this allows you to have freedom because you are not customer service, you guys. You are there to build a business, and customer service is paid to do that. They're there to be able to do all that technical stuff for you. Allows you to be home with your kids and spend time with your family, your loved ones, and you can leverage all that to have flexibility into your business. Finally, Ollie Nation team website, guys. Here, there's so much resources. I wish we had a lot of time to spend on this, but you can go there and when you are there, you can actually see that we're constantly updating it. We look at this more like a resource center for you guys versus like anything else. You want to do whatever you want with it, but when you go here, you can see here that all the M4s have recently been updated. That we have a calendar that we just uploaded. So regardless of what team anyone's part of, we believe in cross-pollination, cross-communication, and cross systems because this is how you build a global business. Ollie Nation is really built upon working with together as a whole team. And so you're going to start seeing the calendar get updated. You're also going to be able to see that the resource library is designed to build a global business. So you'll see here that we have Czech, we have French, we have German, we have Hindi. Some of these are subtitled, but every single week you're going to notice professionally done, dubbed videos that's high quality, that's speaking, that people can use. For example, we just did all of Romanian, and you can leverage all of this. And as these are actually updated and they're professionally done, you can actually use them in a sharing fashion, making it very easy where you can select the language. Let's say if you know someone that is Romanian, they can actually click Romanian or they can click that native language and actually share it. So, guys, that kind of gives you a quick idea on the system. I wish we had more time because, we have Paul, Van was able to share a little bit. I wanted to go through the 12 step so that way you understand how simple the biz really is. There is a guide below that you can print out on there in that section. But guys, we don't switch. We stay simple on the main thing. We keep the main thing the main thing. Remember, focus on the philosophy. Leverage out the tools, leverage out customer service, leverage out AI, so that way you can be with your kids. That way you can run your traditional business. You can still have a full-time job. Whatever it is for you, we don't want you burned out. We've been in network marketing since 2001. Trust us. Van, I'll leave it with this as I pass it back to Van. When we decide to pull the trigger and say we're going to do this again, Van says, I am not gonna do the old school stuff anymore. We, our daughter's 17, our son is 14. We want to be able to have that freedom to be with our family. We know that that's what you guys want. We want this fun for you. We want this to be predictable, and we want this to be flexible for you guys because we built this on the eyes of us being normal people. We know that you guys are normal people as well that just wants to have an amazing business that's fun, that's empowering, but you can have the power of flexibility and cash flow coming in if you decide to choose to. And that's what we want for you guys truly wholeheartedly. So I'll pass it to you on that.
Yeah, and a couple of things, two things that we just need to end it with is really simple of the idea of why some of you guys are wondering, how do we get residual income? And this is the approach and the perspective that you need to see this as. So let me ask you guys this, and you can respond in the comment section. I want you guys to look around your house, your office, even in your bathroom. think of a consumable product that you use, not network marketing. I don't want to know about any network marketing products, but let me ask you guys this. As men on the line, are you guys still using the same shaving cream you used when you first started realizing you needed to shave your face? No, right? Because if you find a better brand, a better ingredient list, you're going to switch the brand. Okay, to the people that are on the line, not network marketing supplements. I just want to know, are you still taking the same supplement you took when my parents used to give me Flintstone vitamins, right? Now I realize all they were giving me was colored sugar, right? I'm not taking Flintstone vitamins anymore. I'm definitely not giving our kids Flintstone vitamins. Are you still using the same soap brand, detergent, shampoo and conditioner? Maybe. When you look around your house, this is what I'm going to tell you that there's a very small fraction of brands that I actually stay loyal to. There's just, whether it's a spice, most likely it's a spice that I'll stay loyal to because I know the quality of the spice. But every other product in our household, I've switched out the brand because I found something better. So in our own human behavior, we're not really loyal to consumable products. It's just a fact. You look at your house, you turn products all the time because you're finding better quality through awareness. So the concept of it has to be a consumable product for us to make residual income is a lie because if you are a leader, you've built in product, you know that the turnaround rate of someone keeping their auto ship is very low. Like you have to get them to feel something, experience a result to even ensure that they'll make it to the 90-day mark. Because most people, they quit after 30 days. Most people don't even make it to a 6-month window. So this whole idea of believing that we have to have a consumable product for our residual income. No, guys, if we put a consumable product in, it's going to make you work harder because then we have to get on the phone and convince people to not cancel their auto ships. We have to get on the phone to remind them, don't forget to charge your credit card. You don't want to lose how you're feeling. So in our own human behavior, we prove that consumable products, we're not really loyal to it. Most of the time, we're only loyal to it because it's tied to our opportunity. The second thing that you guys need to understand and see what OlyLife is like is that when you're building this business, you got to look at it like an Apple business. Guys, right now, whatever phone you're using, whether it's an Android or an Apple, let me ask you guys this. Have any of you guys decided to switch out your technology brand? Like one year you were Apple, the next year you were Android, and then, 2 years later you decided to go back to Apple? No. You are probably an Apple fan and have probably 10 generations of Apple, like Tuan and I. I got into Apple when it was generation 5. I'm at generation 16 right now. And if you ask me to switch to an Android, I'm going to call you crazy. Not because I'm an Apple fan, is because I'm so used to my Apple that I'm not willing to switch my brand, even though I hear Android's cameras are better, right? So in our own human behavior, we prove that we are more loyal to technology than we are to a consumable product. So where's the residual aspect? What Paul said earlier is that every year new products are going to come out. Every year it's going to allow new markets to join the company. But here's what Tuan and I are witnessing in OlyLife for us in 12 months is that when we introduce OlyLife to them, we typically share the P90 Plus, they buy that. And then what happens is due to their own experience, they fall in love with the product and the brand, and they naturally come back and they upgrade and buy more products because they go, wow, I love how I feel on P90, shaking, whatever. I want to see what the goggles feel like. Oh, I love the goggles. I want to see what the shaken massager does. Oh, the shaken is so awesome. I want to see what the vitality wand does. Oh my goodness, these products are so effective. I need to get the Bomba Air. The good news is in the month of July, if you buy product or you enroll new people, they get the Bomba Air for free. Guys, this ends at the end of July, which is awesome. They're giving away a $500 product for anybody that spends 1,000, 2,000, you get two, 3,000, you get three, whatever. But brand new people, they're getting free product with the company. So our point is, when you look at OlyLife, you got to know that in the human behavior already, consumable products are not what we are loyal to. Technology is what we're loyal to. And the second part of what you're going to witness in OlyLife is when you allow people to experience and fall in love with the brand, they will naturally come back and buy more devices, like how Apple is worth $16 trillion. I looked up the top 2 supplement companies. One of them is Amway. You guys know Amway. Amway is a multi-billion dollar brand, okay? Listed as one of the top two supplement companies in the world. Guys, would you rather have a multi-billion dollar market to play in, or do you want a multi-trillion dollar market to play in? Because that's the difference between the two, is that when you approach technology, you don't approach it as a supplement style industry. You approach it for what it is. It's technology. And Apple is worth $16 trillion in the technology space. OlyLife, what it's doing is combining the power of $11 trillion in health and wellness with the possibility of $16 trillion with Apple, right? So they combined these multi-trillion dollar brands and came together and created these devices. So when you think about how you're going to build OlyLife, don't think from a supplement standpoint. Think from a technology base, is that you want to give people the experience to fall in love with the brand, and they will come back and purchase products like how we buy Apple. I don't buy an Apple iPhone every single month, but what did I buy for Father's Day? Not just AirPods for Toan because his is all jacked up and needed new ones, but I gifted my husband new AirPods. But on top of that, I gifted it to our children. So our son and daughter now have Apple AirPods. And then prior to that, during Christmas time, what did our daughter get? A new MacBook Pro. Okay. Prior to that, Toan got a MacBook Pro. Before that, we bought iPhone 16 for our children and iPhone 16 for Toan and I. And then before that, I got a MacBook Air. You see how many times we keep coming back to Apple? My point of what I'm saying is, how you going to look at OlyLife's build is you got to build a customer base so large that Mauricio is not going to buy product every month, but somebody within the network is looking to upgrade, like how Toan and I upgrade Apple products all the time. And this is the reason why Apple is so successful, because it's not a monthly based product that you're buying every month, but it's the brand is so reliable that their consumer base is so large that every month somebody is buying either a replacement, brand new, something different, an accessory, a new charger, whatever, but they're coming back and they're buying more. And guys, that's what we're witnessing in our OlyLife business after 12 months. That, yeah, some of you guys are like, oh, new sales is hard. That's if you are only focused on just selling for yourself, then yeah, that's going to be hard. You're going to have an endless amount of people that are buying from you, right? The average individual doesn't have a large following. But if you allow this product to be the hero, leverage the system that Toan and I are talking about, you are going to be able to create a global base. And the last thing I'm going to share with you guys, because we like to show proof, the system that Toan and I are talking about of just sharing the tools, feet on the device, poking them with a pen, chat GPTing, and not hammering into the old school style of always being busy. Allowing the product to be the hero, allowing the tools to do the explanation and build the business. I'm going to share with you guys one organization. So we test piloted this concept, right, of just not letting things get too crazy and over analyzing everything. We literally just said, we need you guys to get your own experience, share the device, tier bonus. Guys, I'm going to bring up this organization. They got started in February. And since February, they have put in $1.5 million in PV, not actual dollar sales. So they've put in 1.5 million PV since February. And I'm going to highlight the Russian group. And here's why I'm going to bring up the Russian group. Because the Russian group has all the odds against them to not succeed in OlyLife. Many times we let our brain overcomplicate and convince ourselves that we're not going to be successful because we don't have a replicated website. We don't have consumable products. We don't know our back office. We can't get our money out in USD because it's crypto, right? Oh, the process of manual withdrawal is so annoying. These are all the things we hear, what we probably said in the past. But guys, let me just tell you about this Russian group. Guys, you guys know there's a war happening between Ukraine and Russia right now, right? So the Russians are sanctioned from using Visa and MasterCard. So they have zero credit card processing ability for their team. You know what they do? They have to buy EC credit from me and Toan or Paul. I've even hounded our downline. Like, I ran out of credit one night. Paul was sleeping. And I'm like, oh crap, I got to go buy some EC credits from the team, because this is the only way the Russians can enroll people, is they have to use back office credit. And guys, let me just tell you what else is happening to them. Certain parts of Russia are considered war zones. So they have a war against them. They have no credit card processing. But in one and a half months, you know how much volume they've actually put in? $1.1 million. All the odds against these Russians to not succeed, but they figured it out. And I want you guys to understand why are they doing this? Because I'm going to share with you guys, this isn't the Russian chat. This is actually the whole entire team chat, but I will also show you guys what you focus on is what's going to duplicate. And if you focus on complexity, over analyzing, you are going to slow your entire organization down because your energy determines the speed of your entire team. I want you guys to know that this organization, all they focus on is tier bonus qualifying. They don't know all about the comp plan. They don't know about all of the pay plan of like, check matching and all the other stuff. I just want you guys to see what the upline does in this group. And I just want to highlight it real quick. Guys, they don't overcomplicate. They don't get too technical. They just know that the steps are feed on the device, share the videos, poke them with the pen, chat GBT, tier bonus qualify. So I want you guys to see that in this group, you guys can see this, right? All the names listed out that the upline congratulated for their first tier bonus. Like think about how many recruits just came through just this post alone. Because this is these people earning their tier bonus for the very first time. Now, let's scroll down 45 minutes later. He decides, I'm going to post the current team members that are older in the business. Natalie, 5 tier bonuses. All these people right here, 3 tier bonuses.
This is the last 24 hours, just so everyone know.
So, and then these 3, or all these people right here, 2 tier bonuses. Insane. So think about the amount of people that are getting involved and they're not complicating it and not over analyzing everything. They're literally just focused on, remember what I said about at the conference, right? 38% of the people that look at network marketing want to learn how to make an extra $500. And if you can show them that, you have 67% of people's attention in network marketing. Guys, tier bonus qualifying, like Toan said, one on the left, one on the right, over $600. They log into their back office 24 hours later and they see their goal has been met. Whether it took them 30 days to do it, 2 weeks to do it, 1 day to do it, doesn't matter. You are hitting the pain point that people are looking for, that are trying to create a solution. And if we overcomplicate it by talking about M1 and all this other stuff, because that's the first rank that everybody gets acknowledged at, right? We always were taught that men die for it and babies cry for it. Recognition. People want recognition more than anything else. And guys, if we wait until M1 to do the recognition, they're going to fizzle out in their excitement. So these people in this group, they decided I'm going to focus on just congratulating them on their tier bonuses. Every 24 hours, they're able to actually see what type of money they're making. And it goes from making $500 a month to $500 a day. Like Paul is saying, his goal is just $300 a day. And then 300 to 500 to even now people are saying, I want to make $1,000 a day because they see the possibility with the tier bonus and how simple it is. But what I want you guys to understand is that why is this system so important to understand? Because it translates into multiple languages. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is show you guys the Russian group. The Russian group turned around and duplicated the behavior, not the complexity of, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. They duplicated the fact that they needed to share tools, feed on the device, chat GPT, tier bonus qualify. Now, I don't understand Russian. Guys, you can't read it. It's a bunch of characters I don't know how to read. But here's what I can show you guys is that they started duplicating the behavior of focusing on tier bonus qualifiers. And in Russian, in this group, where is it? Right here. You can't read it because it's just a bunch of characters.
But they're congratulating people for earning their tier bonuses.
Look at that. Look at that.
Now I can understand what that means right there. They're celebrating.
But they duplicated out of that WhatsApp into the Telegram. There's almost 600. The team is actually bigger than that because not everybody gets on an app. But in a month and a half, that group on Telegram is at 589 members. But here's the part that just blows our mind and how humble and like when they say that their mindset is absolutely determined to make it happen. I'm going to tell you guys this. I just want you guys to read. This is a ticket that got submitted by the Russian group that just says, I have a small issue in Russia. It's a war zone now, and they started to evacuate from there. Therefore, the question is, can they change the address and ship to another place? Guys, they're not upset. They're not like, oh my gosh, the company won't resolve our credit card merchant service. They won't resolve this. They're like respectfully asking, do you think the company will consider re-shipping or resending our product to a different address? Because we can't go back. It's a war zone, right? So when I tell you guys that their attitude is no excuses large enough to interrupt the mission, this is why we highlight the Russian group, because they are determined to help more people because they have a Russian testimonial channel and they're blown away. There's only like 15 devices in Russia right now. And every person that they're going out and demonstrating to are getting incredible testimonials like you guys are witnessing in your organization. But when you guys go into the field and you're working with your team and you start to think of the negative thoughts, these are the reasons why I can't succeed in OlyLife. I want you to remember the Russians. The Russians don't have credit card processing like you guys do. The Russians are having to figure out where they need to go because they don't know where the next war zone is going to happen in Russia. They are sanctioned from doing business outside of Russia, but they still figured it out because when they see what people are experiencing on these devices, when they see what type of income their organizations are making, it's life-changing to them during hard times of war. So this should inspire you to know that there is absolutely nothing right now in America that is holding me back from getting to where I want to be. The only thing stopping me is me overthinking it and my mindset. Because I promise you, if they can figure it out, I know for a fact you all can do it. And so we want to just end it with this because we do have a call we got to get on to in 2 minutes. But we want to end it with this. We want to give it back to Paul, but we just want to thank all of you guys that came on the line. You spent an hour and a half with us. We didn't mean for it to go this long. We don't get to meet you guys all the time. But I do want to share with you guys that the team that you're a part of is an incredible organization. You guys know that you have great leadership guiding the ship. But on top of that, you have leadership that went out and proved it, where Paul and Beanie in a year and a half made multiple seven figures already. So they already created the path that you know is possible for you as long as you're willing to follow the system. And guys, if you're willing to do that, I promise you, none of the things that you're thinking of that's holding you back really is what's holding you back. It's you literally not taking the bull by the horn and actually going full force because we showed you an example of an organization that doesn't have the benefits you guys have, but yet they're still willing to make it work. And they have put in $1.1 million in sales through resolutions of what we can do to work around this war, to work around the sanctions. They figured it out. And if you have that attitude, I have no doubt that you won't succeed like everybody else here. So with that, we'll hand it over to Paul. Sorry, guys, that we have to jump on off, but we do have a
Thank
call.
you.
Thank you so much for being on, and we look forward to meeting you guys in person.